Okay, welcome everyone to a deep dive. Today, we're plunging into something really ancient and, well, absolutely foundational, the Rig Veda.
That's right. And our source material today, it's a set of pretty powerful excerpts from these hymns, specifically the ones that give us a window into one of the Rig Veda's most vital deities.
Exactly. We're focusing mostly on the god Indra, looking just through these selected hymns. Our mission is to explore what these specific sources tell us about him.
Hmm.
Not just who he is, but what qualities the worshippers were highlighting, what they actually sought from him, and maybe what surprising details pop out about this central figure from thousands of years ago.
Yeah, think of this as a guided exploration just for you, like straight into the heart of the Rig Veda, guided really by the words of the ancient poets themselves.
I'm genuinely excited about this one. It's incredible how much just a few hymns can reveal, you
Mm.
know, about a whole worldview and a deity.
Oh, absolutely. The Rig Veda is one of the oldest texts we even have, and focusing on someone as prominent as Indra, well, it lets us see that ancient world,
Mm.
its hopes, its fears, through a really distinct lens.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Based on these sources we have, where do we even begin building a picture of Indra?
Well, the hymns immediately, right away, establish his core identity, his power.
Right.
Repeatedly, he's presented first and foremost as a warrior, a hero.
Okay.
And the epithet you see coming up again and again is Vitraslayer.
Virtuously.
Yeah, and it's not like presented as a one-off event. It's almost a defining characteristic. The sources even refer to him slaying the Vutros, plural, which suggests, multiple forms or maybe instances of this challenge he overcomes.
Deirdre Slayer, that feels incredibly significant, like almost his main title.
It really is prominent here.
And the sources, they don't stop there, do they? They just pile on language
Yeah.
describing his immense power.
Oh, absolutely. He's called the Lord of 100 Powers. That's Satakratu. I mean, think about that. 100 powers. He's described as an impulsive mover, exceeding strong, vast, possessing surpassing vigor, and being undecaying. He's the one who conquers, who breaks strongholds, who drives floods.
It's a real dynamic force.
Exactly.
Yeah.
These aren't just abstract descriptions. They paint a picture of this, irresistible force, one that just overcomes obstacles and chaos.
And the sources use such vivid, kind of grounded imagery, too, to
Yeah.
get that power across. He's frequently called the bull, right? Or young bull.
Yes, multiple times.
What does that choice, using an animal like the bull, tell us about the kind of power they saw in him?
Well, using the bull, it connects his divine strength to something immediately recognizable, right? And
Yeah.
powerful in their world, raw, potent, maybe untamed energy. It's a very physical metaphor for divine power.
Makes sense.
And central to this power is, of course, his weapon. He is thunder-armed, he wields the thunder, and these hymns describe it with really evocative terms like bright, well-loved, and girt with the bright.
So, okay, we've got this image. Powerful warrior, defined by smashing obstacles like Vertra, carries the thunderbolt, embodies the raw strength of a bull. But these hymns also put him in a much grander context,
Right.
cosmic even.
Yes, definitely.
How do the sources show his role going beyond just, earthly battles?
Right. This is where the vision really expands. So while he supports mankind, he also actively supports heaven and earth. There's one striking line that says he "seateth wide, vast midair and heaven and earth together."
Whoa.
Yeah. It suggests his power isn't confined. He's either upholding the very structure of the cosmos or maybe even surpassing its boundaries entirely. It shows he's seen as fundamental, really, to the order of the universe itself.
And he seems deeply connected to light
Mm.
and the celestial sphere,
Yeah.
which feels tied into that cosmic order idea.
Exactly. The hymns state he's discerning light from darkness, that he finds the sun lying hidden in the darkness. He makes Usas, that's the dawn glow, and makes Surya, the sun, shine. He's even called the sun's creator.
The sun's creator.
Yeah, he illumines all the realm of light. And there's even a mention, interestingly, of the golden light, which Savitar diffuses. Savitar being another solar deity, suggesting this whole network of divine light givers.
That connection to light, especially finding the hidden sun,
Hmm.
it just reinforces that role as an order bringer, doesn't it? Darkness could be chaos, or maybe another face of Virtra, perhaps?
That's a very plausible reading, yes. That symbolism fits.
And speaking of light and radiance,
Yeah,
these sources are just full of the color gold. It's everywhere.
they really are.
Heaven with streams of golden hue, earth with tints of green and gold, mention of a golden pair, probably heaven and earth, a golden one who moves between them,
Mm.
the golden bull himself, his golden weapon, his golden colored car.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think this prevalence of gold imagery suggests?
Well, gold, in so many cultures, it signifies divinity, purity, wealth, radiance. Its pervasive use here really makes Indra feel luminous, majestic, perhaps even representing the very light and prosperity he brings forth from darkness and chaos.
Mhm.
It kind of clothes him and his domain in this sense of ultimate value, of brilliance.
It really builds this picture of an incredibly powerful, cosmic, radiant being. But for all this vastness, the hymns keep bringing him back again and again to a very specific, very earthly ritual, the offering and drinking of soma.
Ah, Soma. Yeah.
How central is soma in these sources?
It is absolutely fundamental, foundational to the interaction described in these hymns. Indra is constantly being called upon, invited, urged to drink the soma juice.
Right.
It's referred to with terms like pressed out soma, savory juice, strength conferring soma juice. It's not just an offering, it really feels like the offer.
And the level of detail about how it's made is quite striking, too.
It really is.
The sources mention it's expressed by tawny stones, placed on the sacred grass. It's mixed with roasted corn, with groats, with cake, blent with milk or barley, described as a corn blent offering, or even meath.
Yeah, this isn't vague ritual stuff. It's a specific process involving precise ingredients and steps, very concrete.
And performed at specific times, too, right?
Yeah.
Break a day, midday libation, the third sacrifice, at due seasons.
Exactly. And by specific people, you have the worshippers, the priests, the Advaryas who actually purify the soma, and singers like the Kusikas family. This wasn't some casual thing. It was highly structured, a communal effort, all directed at Indra.
What really stands out to me here, though, is Indra's reaction to the soma. It's not just received passively.
No, not at all.
He delights in it, finds wild joy, it cheers him, it works through his body, satisfies his longing. One hymn even says he was born longing for it and drank it from his mother and from mountains.
It's incredible, isn't it? This isn't a god just passively accepting tribute. This is a god whose very being seems intertwined with this substance. He finds ecstatic pleasure, finds strength from the worshipper's offering.
Yeah, it establishes this incredibly potent, almost symbiotic connection.
That's a great way to put it. Between the ritual actions of the worshipper and the deity's own state of being, his power. The offering isn't just symbolic, it's presented as literally fueling him, vital to his nature and his actions.
So beyond Soma, the sources show Indra isn't just this solitary figure either. He has companions, associates, both divine and human.
He does. The Maruts, for instance, are frequently mentioned as being with him. They strengthen him, they rejoice in him, they follow him. He's explicitly called Marut Girt, like surrounded by them.
So his divine backup singers, almost.
Maybe. Or his stormtroopers, perhaps. They seem to be his divine retinue, amplifying his presence and his power.
And his horses, wow.
Yeah.
His bay steeds or tawny steeds, they get described with such detail, such affection. Dear, trusty, swift, well-limbed, well-groomed companions that bring him to the worship. And specific descriptions like long-maned, dropping oil, with tails like peacock's plumes.
The vividness is amazing. It really brings them to life, doesn't it? It shows they were seen as integral, almost beloved participants in his activities. They're more than just transport.
They really are. They feel like characters.
Yeah.
Other figures get mentioned too, right?
Yeah.
Like other gods who come with him or adorned him or watch his actions.
Yes, and the Vasus, who are noted as being good at rescue, maybe a specific group of helpful deities in his circle, and figures like Pushan, Vaja, the Arbhus are also mentioned alongside him.
Just brief mentions, though.
Mostly brief in these specific hymns, yes. They suggest a broader divine or mythic landscape that Indra moves within, but these excerpts don't really elaborate much on their specific role.
Okay, and then there are these associations with like specific historical or mythological events and people mentioned in the sources.
Right. He's linked to the Navagvas and Dasagvas groups, apparently, with whom he found the sun or maybe cattle. There's Chavastar, whom the sources say he conquered. Ahi, whom he slew, maybe another name for Vertra or related. And Samara, against whom he won cattle.
So placing him within a specific narrative history, conflicts, victories.
Exactly. And he's also directly linked to human figures and groups. There's Saryata, beside whom he drank juice. Visvamitra, the famous sage and hymn composer.
Oh, right.
Indra was apparently his escort, and they say he restrained a river with him, granted Visvamitra long life. Then there's Sudas, a king, whose horse Indra helped get riches, leading to slaying foes.
So direct intervention.
Very direct. And the Kusikas, Visvamitra's family line, they seek his aid, they sing hymns, bring gifts, and the sources say it's through them Indra grew friendly. So forming relationships with specific human leaders, priestly families.
Okay, so given this whole picture of vastly powerful, cosmic, soma-loving, well-connected deity, what did the people worshiping him actually want? What are they asking for in these hymns?
Well, the requests are incredibly concrete, really practical, deeply rooted in the needs of, well, an ancient society. They seek abundant wealth, blessings, a store of heroes, which likely means strong sons, warriors, 100 autumns, which is clearly a wish for long life.
100 autumns, I like that.
Yeah. Victory in battles, spoil, booty, general riches. It's about immediate, tangible benefits for survival and prosperity.
Makes sense. What else?
They also ask for aid, glory, protection, asking him specifically to make us safe on every side, grant new protection. They seek light, maybe literally or metaphorically, removal from misfortune, from evil, support, bounty, cattle, horses, the big markers of wealth and status back then, and the power to strike their foes. They even asked to become guardians or rulers of people, or to become a Rashi, a sage themselves. So the requests really cover material wealth, physical safety, status, wisdom, long life, everything.
Wow, comprehensive.
Yeah, they want wealth that lasts forever, pleasant food, enjoyment of gifts, strength, overall prosperity. They cover all the bases.
And the hymns make it clear that he's seen as the one who actually grants this stuff.
Oh, absolutely. He is called the rich rewarder, wealth bestowing, the one who gives aid, who wins and gathers riches. He's good at rescue, a rainer down of blessings, a strength giver.
Oh, wait.
He satisfies longing, grants new protection, deals forth strength and riches, gives abundant gifts, and makes prosperous. The connection is explicit. Worship, soma, leads to these tangible blessings flowing from him.
It's a very clear reciprocal relationship then. Worshippers give praise, hymns, especially soma,
Yes.
and in return, he hears them and provides these vital earthly benefits. What's interesting, though, is how that relationship is sometimes described. It's not always just transactional, is it?
No, that's a really good point. It's not always presented as just a contract.
Okay.
There are lines describing the relationship with, well, intimacy, warmth, like mother cows their calf, or a child grasping his father's garment's hem. Yeah. He's called a friend to friendly men, kinsman, and good friend. It suggests this desire for closeness, for reliance, not just, appeasing some distant, scary power.
That adds another layer. Let's maybe dive into some of those other incredibly vivid details that just pop up in these hymns.
Yeah.
Because they really bring that world to life.
Oh, they do. The imagery used to describe his actions, his power, it's fantastic. Hasting like a strong courser, power like pools of water deep and full, like kine well guarded, or water brooks reaching the lake. Really evocative nature imagery.
Shaking the tree for ripened fruit as with hooks to get wealth. That's such a great metaphor for how he delivers bounty.
It is, and we already mentioned the horses with tails like peacock's plumes, just beautiful.
Yeah. There's also that striking image of Indra passing over men like fowlers over desert lands. What do you make of that one?
It suggests maybe his pervasive watchfulness, or perhaps his power to traverse unseen, like a bird of prey spotting things from above. It's intriguing.
And these hymns, they also contain these brief mentions of specific figures or events that just open little windows into their world, right?
Exactly. Like Sasapari lowing to dispel famine. Who or what was Sasapari? A cow. A specific deity. The hymn just drops the name.
Right. No explanation.
Or the Kikadas. They're pointedly described as not offering milk or heating a cauldron. This seems to contrast them with the proper worshippers and highlights just how important these specific rituals, like preparing offerings, were.
Ah, so setting up an us versus them.
Seems like it. And there's also the mention of seeking the wealth of someone named Pramaganda and giving up the lowborn, which hints at social distinctions or maybe rivalries between groups, little glimpses.
And one really fascinating detail about Indra himself that adds another dimension.
Oh, yes.
He weareth every shape at pleasure. He's effecting magic changes in his body.
Ah, the shape-shifting. Yes. He's not just a fixed form. He can apparently transform. That adds this layer of, well, dynamic, almost magical capability to his already formidable warrior persona.
This really has been a deep dive, hasn't it? Just from a small selection of ancient text.
It really has.
We've kind of pieced together this picture of Indra from these hymns. Supremely powerful, Vishra-slaying warrior, a cosmic figure supporting the universe, bringing forth light.
The central receiver of that crucial joy-inducing soma ritual.
Right. Surrounded by companions, divine and animal. And ultimately the source of all these earthly blessings, victory, prosperity for his worshippers.
Yeah, even these brief excerpts, they paint such a rich, multifaceted portrait of a central deity. The specific details, the vivid imagery, that explicit link between ritual, the god, and tangible human needs, it all gives us a powerful glimpse into the worldview of the people who composed these, who used these hymns.
And connecting this back to you, the listener, what does this ancient material focus so strongly on, tangible requests like wealth, victory, protection, long life? What does it reveal? These desires, they really resonate across thousands of years, don't they?
They absolutely do. I mean, the specific context is ancient India, obviously, but the underlying human needs, the aspirations for security, prosperity, health, success, connection to something greater, they feel remarkably timeless.
Yeah.
And seeing how they address those needs through worship of a deity like Indra, well, it provides a powerful reflection on human hopes and the quest for a good life mediated through perceived divine power.
What's fascinating to me here is how a figure so deeply connected to both cosmic power, supporting heaven and earth, restraining rivers, creating the sun,
Yeah, huge stuff.
is also so directly involved in earthly success. Battles, cattle, wealth, harvests, longevity, prosperity. That duality feels really significant.
It really does. It suggests that for the people of the Rig Veda, the divine wasn't necessarily separate from the practical realities of life. Their most powerful god was the bridge, really, between the vastness of the cosmos and the very real need for a good harvest or, winning the next battle.
So their worldview saw these realms as intimately connected.
Exactly, with the divine actively intervening in the human sphere to ensure well-being.
Okay, so here's something maybe to ponder as we finish this deep dive. What does this ancient perspective of a powerful deity, whose cosmic role is just inseparable from his ability to grant earthly wealth and victory, what does that suggest about our own, perhaps more fragmented, search for connection, meaning, and prosperity today?
Do we still look for figures or forces, maybe in different forms, that bridge that gap between the seemingly intangible and the practical needs of our lives? Makes you wonder, doesn't it?